Hello, everyone, and greetings. Sorry, I was planning on putting out this video a little sooner. Life finds a way to get in the way. Today we're going to be fighting Paarl. One thing I wanted to point out is, unfortunately I didn't have the binoculars, but there is in fact a lantern up there. So if any of you are going through this adventure with me for your first time, despite this being a 6-year-old game at this point, foreshadowing. Today we're going to be fighting Paarl, and using pretty much what I consider the what I'm going to be I guess using pretty much the whole time. I'm going to be using 2 items today. We're going to be using fire paper, which gives us that flat 80 damage boost after learning that with fire damage, unless the creature is weak to fire, which it'll do more. And Paarl is a beast, so it will do more damage. If you're having trouble, you can come over here and summon Defector Antal. But I'm also going to be using Beast Blood Pellets. Now, Beast Blood Pellets specifically, I need to do a little bit more research into this, and I promise I will. But they will do... It's like a double-edged sword. We do more damage. We also take more damage. And not in a good way, so other enemies do more damage to us, or they get a bonus to hit us based on our bonus to hit them. So, that's that. Paarl is a very intimidating boss, very scary, but if you ignore the fact that he's scary, he's actually quite weak and easy to defeat, especially with our +6 weapon and the buff we're using. It's a very quick fight. I remember my Virgin playthrough, I was quite scared. I thought he was going to explode there, so I ran off, but he ended up not exploding. But yeah, he just can't deal with this combo. There's a lot of bonus damage, there's a lot of... just a lot of him being flinched. The R1-L1 combo of the Saw Spear and Saw Cleaver weapons is, I've stated it many times, and I'm gonna shut up about it now. But it's very effective. Now, normally I would go ahead and just cut it there, or show off my leveling up. But there is a cool thing I want to point out. If you're following along in the playthrough and mimicking it at all, and you let Djura stay alive, we're going to be going back to Lower Yharnam today. Or Old Yharnam, sorry. And we're going to be paying a visit to Djura, and he is not going to attack us. The way you do this, or achieve this, rather, is you have to defeat Paarl. And once you defeat Paarl, you have the ability to enter Old Yharnam from a familiar-looking door. And then we're going to run straight to Djura without fighting anybody. I have seen some bad luck where Djura is still, what's the word? Aggressive? Or, yeah, aggressive to the player. But you can just reset, and try again, and just sprint to him. You don't really have to do it. It's more fun for me just to get the dialogue. I think from a loot perspective, there's really no difference between doing this or just fighting him. In fact, let me look that up. But yeah, as I said, we're gonna go through this familiar-looking door and end up in Old Yharnam. And we will then just sprint straight for him. We do have to run past a few enemies, but it shouldn't be that big of a problem. Let's see. Djura is a hostile by default. If you have befriended Djura, he can become hostile again the following ways. So, when Djura is friendly, if you attack him, he becomes angry. When Djura is friendly, if the player chooses... We'll go into that. So if you kill Djura, you get 875 blood echoes, the powder keg hunter badge, and that's it. So yeah, there's not really an advantage to killing him unless you want 875 blood echoes, or if you just wanted to do it right from the off and get go, so you could explore the area fully the first time you were here. In your first playthrough, killing Djura is not a bad idea, especially if you're not really directly following a YouTube guide.
Well, how did you get in here? It's no matter. What brings you to old Yharnam? I've no interest in matters further up, but you must not disturb this place. The beasts do not venture above, and mean no harm to anyone. If you still insist on hunting them, then I will hunt you first. You understand me? Yes, very good. I no longer dream, but I was once a hunter too. There's nothing more horrific than a hunt. In case you fail to realize, the things you hunt, they're not beasts. They're people. One day you will see. It's time you got going. But first, a farewell gift. I have no use for it anyway.
Oh, you get this emote. So, this would be the reason to friend Djura, to get the brush off cape emote, which I am a big fan of. So, yeah, this would be specifically the reason you'd want to do that if you want to go emote collecting. I actually don't collect everything in this particular playthrough. You know, there's a lot of rust. It's been a long time since I played the game. And I am thinking of just picking it back up for the month of October to see if people are active, and maybe I can get a little further in my arcane run. Maybe do a video series about that eventually once I have a better understanding of it. Unfortunately, this does not pacify the other hunter. He will attack us.
Surely I need not repeat myself. Go, I say. You have the whole night to dream. Make the best of it.
But the hunter down below will still attack us, and all the enemies will as well. Djura kind of just gave us our first direct confirmation, if the lore up to this point wasn't enough of a clue. The people of Yharnam are sick. They've got a closest representation would be a lycanthropy plague going through town, so to speak. And the way to deal with this plague, unfortunately, with the tools available to the people in the time that Yharnam, or world that Yharnam is set in, is unfortunately to cull them. They haven't quite nailed down. It's the blood doing this to them, and making everything so terrible. But yeah, that's our very first directive of lore. Creatures in here are a little bit more aggressive than the how you say when we first visited. They don't mind fire as much, especially the ones with the cloth over their eyes. But we are still relatively strong for the area. They're not any stronger. There's no reason you couldn't go here the first time you visit Old Yharnam. I just prefer to do it in this order. Now, I'm not sure if attacking these beasts will make Djura aggressive to us or not. But, I just decide not to deal with it. But yeah, this is our second foray into Old Yharnam. There's some fashion here. There's not really any great reasons to come here. You get the rifle spear for free, and You get the Charred Hunter set, which is really good for fire resistance. So when you're fighting a creature that produces fire, for instance. I need to change my power settings again because I haven't learned from my mistakes. I'll be right back, everyone. Instantly for you. And I'm back. So, gosh, the significance of Old Yharnam is really the place that just teaches you that, like, you know, you are in fact hunting people. Although I don't really know how stark that message needs to be. And maybe it's a story of how bad things have been already, and how the rest of Yharnam is going to look if something doesn't happen. Maybe a warning for the future. Now I've actually swapped characters here, so I can show off the rifle spear. The rifle spear, for whatever reason, it just never really spoke to me, especially the one-handed moveset. It doesn't really, even in its two-handed form, it doesn't have the disadvantage that I kind of feel like with other weapons. Although it is a shotgun instead of a more quick, direct pistol for its parry form. And this attack right here, that is incredibly powerful. It's got fantastic reach. It's never really spoken to me, despite how effective it should be. And this thing was an absolute terror in early patches of Bloodborne, because things that are not supposed to scale with modifiers like bullets, such as an arcane modifier, using the rifle spear, they did scale, and each bullet individually scaled. And so the rifle spear did a stupid amount of damage. There's a lot of videos on it. I'll see if I can find, I think it might have been Iron Pineapple. I'll see if I can find the video that just talked about how stupidly broken it was. Anyway, I thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.